So what's going on, guys? It's Taste here. I'm bringing you another COD commentary on domination in Arcaden, as the more observant of you will have realised. And the game here, Modern Warfare 3, something I want to talk about this time, what people are liking about it, what people aren't liking about it. I know a lot of people are dubbing it as the worst COD ever, as we always do, because we do like to hate on things, don't we? And I was starting to wonder why people are hating on this game more than any of the others, such as Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops, although you can't compare it as much with it not being the same series, but a lot of people comparing it to Modern Warfare 2. So I was wondering what it is that people aren't liking, because the death streaks are still there. That's an obvious complaint. Dead Man's Hand, as you'll see in this game, is present, but it doesn't really have much of an effect in this game, although I know it does in a lot of games, and it is something that I dislike about the game. Another thing is weapon balance. People talk about weapon balance a lot. They want the weapon balance that they saw in COD 4. Apparently that had exceedingly good weapon balance. I don't see it had particularly differences from any other game. I mean, all guns were usable is a really good comment that some people think that they need to pull out every now and again. But I can use every weapon in this game reasonably well. I am using the silenced ACR here like a conformist, but don't see that it particularly aided my gameplay. You'll see I pick up a couple of other guns, although one of them's an MP7, another extremely highly used gun. But there's not that many weapons I really feel are too much of a problem. The only assault rifle that appears to be too overpowered is the Type 95. They've put various patches on that, and although some people will still go, oh, I rarely even get a one burst with it anymore, shut up, because I see it all the time still. People use it as a shotgun is the problem, and I think that is the problem with COD anymore. It's not the weapons, it's not the games, it's the people. And we see it all the time, like this guy in here, look, with its tactical insertion. What is he doing? Oh well, I clear him out anyway, as long as the rest of them. I think I get really lucky here, yeah. How bad is that guy there? Oh dear. But anyway, the weapon balance. The Type 95 with its one burst killing people using it as a shotgun is a problem, yet the Mark 14 apparently is not overpowered, despite it's just a really good gun. Well, how is that any different? One shot to the head, it kills people, and you see people with ridiculously fast shooting on that, although that's only as fast as their trigger figure goes, and yeah, I suppose most Modern Warfare 3 people aren't that experienced and skilled with the old finger in motion. But really, I mean, why can you describe weapons as overpowered when there's equally as good weapons over there just because you can't use them as well? Like, I don't consider the Type 95 that overpowered unless people are just going around hip firing it, getting the lucky one burst, but I disapprove of that kind of hip fire anyway. You can rush around with an SMG and get the hip fires if you're actually shooting for it, but the panic shooting, as I tend to call it, where you just sort of come around a corner and hold R1 down and someone instantly dies because you accidentally shoot them in the head, that's I don't like dying like that, but it's not like they can remove that from the game. So it gets me wondering, maybe it's some of the other stuff they've added. Maybe it's like the point streaks. I know a lot of people have problems with support. They think that people don't deserve what they get. But I mean, outside of the stealth bomber, what do they really get? Like, I don't use support because I find it completely useless in most situations. There's only really the UAV and the counter UAV are both blocked by Assassin Pro, and then the ballistic vests don't really make that much of a difference. There's the airdrop trap, which nobody falls for. The SAM turret, that can barely recognise aircraft from when I've used it. Like, I don't know what it's supposed to be shooting down, really, because it's clearly not the attack helicopters and stuff that are called in, because it just doesn't shoot them. It just looks at them and points a red laser at them. It's useless. I don't know why. Why is that even in the game? And you get a point for taking it out as well. It's just giving them 3 points, like the strafe run in Assault. Who uses that? But after that you get, what, the recon drone? That just takes you out of the game. Yeah, it's annoying to get hit by a recon drone, but it's 6 on 5 at that point. I mean, why take yourself out of the game to go and use that, unless you're looking for the experience from it? And then, what have we got after that? There's the advanced UAV, also blocked by Assassin Pro, and then the stealth bomber, the remote turret. Oh yes, the remote turret, that great kill streak that everyone always uses. Like, I see why it could be useful, but again, that just takes you out of the game. You can stand there and shoot an LMG just as good as that turret works. Just put thermal scope on it, you can even see them just as well as that turret does. You don't get a big red square around them, but oh well. It's worth staying in the game for. You can move around. I mean, which one do you want, red square or the ability to move? And then you've got the stealth bomber, which is obviously annoying. The no skill multi-kill, as it's normally called. the EMP, the Juggernaut Recon, and the Escort Airdrop, which are fairly useful, but you need 18 kills to get them. You're only going to get 1 or 2 a game, really, for using support. You're not going to be spamming them like you do UAVs and such. And even then, the EMP doesn't affect people with Assassin Pro, just stops them calling in their own kill streaks. The Juggernaut Recon doesn't take too much to take them down, especially if you've got the Akimbo FMG9s, or just stun it and there's a couple of you about. And you only get a riot shield and a USP, but the USP can take people down pretty quickly in space. And then there's the Escort Airdrop, so that you just gift the other team 5 care packages, really, because let's face it, who actually manages to keep them things? Like, it tells the enemy exactly where you're going to be. Oh look, there's 5 care packages over there, wonder where the other team's going. And it allows them to just trap you. If they stand at those care packages, don't take any of them, and just let you keep streaming in and picking you off. It's not difficult to get around, so I don't see how that's overpowering in the game either. I'd take a moment on the gameplay. I don't know if it just happened or happened earlier, but if you watch closely somewhere while I'm in this room, I know I spend a lot of time in this room, I get a ninja diffuse in domination, which I found a bit weird. Apparently it happens to a few people. It might even be now. No, I don't know when it is, never mind. And I forget where I was now. Ninja diffuse took me off guard. I was talking roughly about the support kill streaks and moving on from that. Yeah, so I always use Assault. You'll see this in pretty much any video that I upload, because it's the way I'm used to playing from Black Ops, trying to build up things. The kill streak stacking doesn't bother me too much. I play quite defensive, that's where I was at. Playing defensive in this game, sorry if it's not the most entertaining thing in the world, but this is how I played when I started off. This is how I found the game forced me to play. I found the pace being taken out of it quite a bit from Black Ops, but I have since learnt to rush, as I think I'll put it up as my next video, I don't know, but I have a good Russian gameplay saved up, so I'll try and get that out. And this is how people play. This is not camping. A lot of people tend to associate the two, defensive play and camping, and thinking they're the same thing. Like, what I'm doing here is they're spawning down there, they have to be. This is their dominant flag, and if we're going to rush into it, I want to make sure people aren't going to come across, sneak up behind my teammates and get them. I'm just holding down positions. Defensive play is something that people tend to be a bit cautious about doing sometimes. I feel a lot of players sort of rush into a Call of Duty game thinking, I have to rush, I have to run everywhere, I've seen it on YouTube. And you really don't. Like, you don't want to be called a camper and such, but you get called a camper anyway. I rush around maps sometimes with a BP90 and get called a camper when I'm creeping up behind people and shooting them in the head while they're proned on the floor watching a doorway. It's just the stuff that happens in the lobbies. It's never going to be got rid of. It's just the players that are there, which is what is ruining the franchise, because I don't see what is wrong with this game on its own. The Akimbo FMG9s and the death streaks is really all I could really see people can actually complain about. And really, they're easily got around. The Akimbo FMG9s, you just need to take them from a distance, and the death streaks are pretty much the same, really. Just make sure your last few bullets are in the knees. It tends to take them out. Don't get too close, or dead man's hand, obviously, which is an annoying factor, but they need to die a lot of times to do that, and if they kill you with the dead man's hand, they're now off dead man's hand. But there's a nice double to end the game there. Anyway, should probably wrap it up here. So I should see you with the next video. I think this was 45-2, I may be mistaken. But it's reasonably good. I'll see you around.